Well, hey there, church family. It's Rose here, just dropping in to touch base. So last week we spoke about emotional health, and it was such a significant moment for us because not only did we get to have a conversation together and start to get down to what it really means to be emotionally healthy, but we were led into a beautiful encounter with Jesus where we had the invitation from him to come and walk together. He wants to walk with us through our days. He wants to walk with us through the emotional feelings that we are trying to deal with every day. But he also wants to deal with the big things with us. He wants to walk through the pain. He wants to walk through the mess of life. He wants to walk through trauma and various things with us. He loves us too much to leave us just the way that we are. He wants us to be whole. And that was the point of our whole conversation on Sunday, that the goal of emotional health should never be happiness, but should always be wholeness. Jesus came that we would have life and life to the full. He has the ability to help us put the pieces of our lives back together and be a beautiful work of art on display, the beauty of God on display because of what he does in our hearts, because we accept the invitation to walk with him daily and allow him to put the footprints of Jesus on our hearts. So I just want to remind you today, hey, we love and serve an emotional God. We are made in his image and therefore we are emotional beings. In Mark chapter 12, verse 30, God encourages and even commands us to love the Lord our God with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul, and all our strength, with our thinking, with our choosing, with our believing, with the way we feel. God wants us to love him and honor him with all those things. And being an emotionally healthy person is actually my responsibility and your responsibility. And we can do it through being self-aware, tuning into our thoughts and feelings and understanding why we think and feel certain ways. By also being able to process what we're feeling with God, inviting him in. Use King David as your cue. He poured out his heart and poured out his heart and poured out his heart before God until he was empty of himself. And then he allowed God to fill him again. And then he got God's perspective on things. Then he could understand what God wanted to have happen in a situation because he allowed his heart to be open. So take your cue from David, process things with the Lord. If you need to get help and you need to have someone weigh in on things with you, do it. Counselors, psychologists, pastors, trusted circles of friends, those things are all encouraged. Resource yourself. There's so many amazing podcasts and books that you can read on being an emotionally healthy person. I just want to shout out Jason Valentin. You really want to get into some of his stuff. Abby Stumble, you want to get into some of her things. And Dr. Carolyn Leaf, they've got some great tools that you can be able to start to build into your life to be resilient and emotionally healthy. And finally, emotional health being our responsibility means we got to learn to have fun. We got to learn to refresh our souls, do the things that make you come alive, enjoy life. God's given it to us to live. You are well able to be emotionally healthy. I am well able to be emotionally healthy if we partner with Jesus and do it together. Have a great week.